highlight the purpose for that. To understand the concept behind machine-to-machine on cellular, one of them is to go ahead and you can offload off of the existing network so you don't have to worry about putting in something that takes up a lot of bandwidth onto a purpose-built network or something like a point of sale. The other thing that you can do with it is that if you're bringing additional partners that are coming into that in order to do advertising or something like that, you remove security concerns because this is a standalone network. And so now you don't have to worry about them reaching your point of sale network.
So what this does, and you please correct me if I'm wrong, it identifies, when you walk up to it, it identifies if you're a man or woman.
Correct.
And then it will show the products, if things you would most be interested in. So then using motion capture, you can then select from those products which one you want to know.
So the machine-to-machine aspect behind it is that it's taking a digital sign there and it's running analytics behind it in order to interpret male versus female, approximate age, and it's also doing some 3D recognition for hand gestures and the like. It also has some capabilities to interface with an application on a phone. That application would identify that particular user as a loyalty rewards member, and then on the phone display the particular prices, because one of the things it couldn't do is just, if you're a loyalty member, flash up all the prices. Well, then anybody who's walking past it would get to see those prices as well, and as a retailer, if you show a price, you have to honor that price. If you show it on the phone, they get to keep that internally and can have that. So it's a way of advertising for loyalty rewards members without showing off necessarily all the other things. So those are some of the concepts. We'll move into some of the interesting healthcare ones. So I'm going to turn it over to Gary here, who's from Polyglot, and he's going to be able to describe a little solution that he's got here that we kind of helped him build up here.
Hello, everyone. Polyglot Systems is based in the Research Triangle area of North Carolina. It is a piece of software, but a lot behind it. And what is being shown here, I'll get to in just a moment, but in the software is a database of 95% of the most frequently prescribed medicines in America. And what the creator of this software has done is to take the instructions that we all get when we get that pill bottle at the local pharmacy and created much more easy to understand instructions. Instead of that page of paper that's in small font that's rarely read, now we have instructions that are easy to understand with pictograms, and it's also translated into 12 languages. We covered 95% of the most frequently prescribed medicines in all the languages, and several dozen, almost 40 now, medical devices, maybe an inhaler or many other devices, and you go through the software and what is created, you can access a video in many languages to help somebody understand what their prescription is all about. As we all know, many times somebody who goes to the drugstore is not the person who's sick. They're the caregiver. They're going home to give it to a friend or relative. So what is created here, let me take you now to the demo. Imagine you're at a pharmacy, at a hospital, at the retail store. Pick your side, but you know, where do you go to help out yourself or your family to pick up that prescription? And so one setting could be a kiosk. We've been invited to work with Sprint and one of its good partners, a company called Red Dot, and they do kiosks. Our software for today is demonstrated here. We have QR codes now that can be created unique to every single person's prescription. Any doctor, you could either get a barcode or a QR code. You take this, and you can put it on any kind of container, read it, and for today's purposes, this is accessible through the cloud. But for demonstration purposes, it is staged, but I can tell you it's as fast as one's wireless connection into the net. That's, of course, why we're here. So, we show this, and this is all Advair. Okay, I heard the ding, and now it comes up, what language do you want? And so just for ease of...
Oh, don't do English.
Well, okay, we'll go to another one. Does someone speak another language than English? Because that's what we want to show, and it should come up and just...
just to give you an idea, this is a product that we worked with Red.net on in order to get up there, and it's still not at the optimized level for the touchscreen. So this is prototype, and we'll as we further develop this solution, get into a situation where it's very easy to go ahead and hit the button. But right now,
What is Red.net's contribution?
so they're the manufacturer of the kiosk.
Of the kiosk?
Yes, and they've got thousands of kiosks in many retail settings around the country.
So once the QR code is on the prescription label, could I also just use the scan reader on my handheld device?
That is correct.
Okay.
That will be a capability coming out by the end of the year.
Excellent.
Also, if you'd like to take a look just for a second, any of the, you can work through that. You'll get a barcode, and that barcode, of course, has a number associated with it. And so what, if you're at the pharmacy and they can print this out for you, great. If you don't want it, they can email it to you or go home. You have a barcode, punch in the numbers associated with it, and then you're sitting at the computer with your family member or friend who is sick, and this is what you could be reading.
Or you can scan the QR code with your cell phone and read it at home,
At your leisure.
before you give it to the patient.
And we've just had a half a day of presentations by some industry experts all talking about medication adherence. And there's so many factors which affect adherence, but one of them is you just got to make it easy for someone to, if they can afford it, of course, to have that medicine at home, but be reminded and instructed how to take that medicine. If they do it, everybody's ahead. Pharmaceutical manufacturers are continuing with their product. You continue to go back to the retail store, and ultimately it will delay someone's return to the hospital, and that's where the big bucks are spent today. So this is it. We can cover it in 12 languages, and like I said, 95% of the most frequently spoken, frequently used medicines in the country.
And because it's a digital file, the content can be updated if there are new reactions discovered to this.
You open up a great question about process. We have a process now. We say 95% of the medicines, well, guess what? Who calls? It's that next medicine, it's that next language that we're not covering, and reactions. So inside the database behind medication is direct access to the FDA announcements about new product enhancements. It is updated as fast as the FDA sends out its news announcements.